Well, I tell you, whenever we get an emergency, whether that be the floods that came through Chicagoland, which we're now understanding there will be some FEMA money allocated for. That was in June, July. That was right around race time here when we had our Chicago street race. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how you can get your money to Maui, Hawaii, and Lahaina in a way that it gets best used. But we're going to start with Steve Bernas with AI, artificial intelligence. You hear it on the radio all the time. I mean, you've heard a lot of it this morning. But AI now being used in phone scams to try and, we all have a target on our back. Everybody's trying to rip us off. Steve, tell us about how AI is being used and how we need to still generate code words so our family knows that what's going on, if somebody's in trouble, is legit.
Well, Ray, that's a great point. AI technology is still advancing, but getting to a point where they can use it against you is a scam. And really, this is the scariest scam I've ever seen in my 36-year career. They basically go on your videos and grab your audio. They need about 5 to 10, 20 seconds of audio from you, and they can copy your voice in an audio file and use it against you with your family members. So we're seeing that like the old grandparent scam where your grandson's been injured in an accident or been arrested or there's some type of immediate need for cash. And they use this AI technology, as voice technology, to get the money, to call you rather, and then you think it's them on the other line. And that's why, as we mentioned, is every family should have a code word. So if there is truly an emergency, they know that it's you on the phone, not AI technology. And unfortunately, it's really getting to a point where it's getting very scary out there.
So Steve Bernas is here. He's a regular contributor to the show, Better Business Bureau. Steve, so what happens is Grandma gets a call from Ray. And Ray says, Grandma, you're not going to believe this. I've been arrested at Iowa. I was out at a football game. I need you to give me your bank account number so I can, make bail and whatever. Or you need to send me money. And that's where they go in. And they clean out the bank account. And now with this technology, which is just amazing, and I guess you can tell people to stay off social media and don't do videos, but that's just not going to happen. So now AI can reduplicate everything you do, so you have to have the code word.
You have to have the code word so your family member knows it's you. And I've talked to many victims where they say, that was my son, that was my daughter. I could not tell the difference. And as this keeps improving, Ray, each and every time, as we talk about all the time. So what happens is they're going to get better at it. It's going to be real time where they don't need to do the recording. They can do it real time and have the computer do the text immediately on the phone call. So we got to stay one step ahead of the scammers, and the only way to put scammers out of business is not to give them your business. So if you do get that emergency call in the middle of the night or they need money real quickly for something, that's usually the tip-off to the rip-off, but ask for that code word, and you'll know definitely if that's your friend or not. Your relative.
It's just a matter of time before somebody gets caught up in this. We're all, it happened to my mom. My mom had we didn't lose any money on this deal, but my mom all of a sudden noticed that her Social Security went down, her insurance went way up. And I'm like, well, that doesn't seem right. Let me get involved here, because she kept complaining about this. Somebody used her Social Security number to cash out a $200,000 annuity. And
wow.
Yeah, it was amazing. And the steps you have to go through with Social Security and with Medicare to fix that is unbelievable. So it's better to take all the possible precautions that you can. Now, I want to get to what went on here in June, July. We had a lot of rain. FEMA now is coming to the help and the aid of folks like they should, saying, all right, we got a little money for you. How do we keep ourselves clear of that scam?
Well, you got to be careful who's going to be knocking at your door or saying they're from the government, that they can help you in some way. And the scammers always come out of the woodwork with any type of natural disaster, and this is exactly what's going to happen. They're going to come door to door, and they're going to say they're going to be able to help you, or they had extra money from you that are sent by the government. So, in essence, don't open your door to anybody without doing some checking and research on them, because you never want to let anybody in your house that you don't know or don't trust. And you've got to do 2 or 3 bids anyway with any type of work that's done in your house. So you just don't go when anybody comes up to you, don't sign anything without reading it or understanding it. If you don't understand it, then give it to somebody, a family member or an attorney that knows how to understand it and read it. Otherwise, you can end up giving money away or them taking your money in some way.
And be careful of storm chasers that end up in the neighborhood after we've had a hail. If we get hail anywhere in the area, somebody's knocking on my door saying, I'd like to get up on your roof. And I'm like, no, I'll get up on my roof. You stay off it. But that's another subject for another time. Maui. Let's talk about Maui, the fires that were there. Steve, there's going to be a lot of people saying, setting up donation points, setting up non-profits, so they say, setting up charity accounts to help, GoFundMe's. Where do we send our money so we know it's going to the absolute best use? Because these folks, they need our help.
It happens all the time. You'll have the scammers or the bad charities that will take advantage of the situation. They'll create these charities out of nowhere. You want to do your due diligence and check the charity itself ahead of time before donating. So in essence, you're not going to respond to a call saying, give me your credit card number, because a great charity, good charity, will want your money today, tomorrow, next year. So there's several places to go for charity review. One of them is our website, is give.org. That's our philanthropic website that does reviews on charities that holds them accountable to 20 different BBB standards. But you want to go to their website as well and research that website and see if they're experienced in disaster relief. And they've been doing this for a while. So it's best to stick with charities that you know and trust that are national in scope, because usually people, will want the money right away. And those are usually the ones that are really just a telemarketer, not even a charity. And you never know actually where the money's going, Ray.
Steve, I think I know Maui needs our help, and we'll get it there, especially the federal government. I know a lot of people are beating Biden up because he's on vacation, whatever. That's another story. But the AI thing scares the crap out of me. So, again, what is the website where people can go and they can stay up to date on the scam du jour of the day that seems to come out every day? Steve, where do we send folks for more info?
Well, the best place is bbb.org, and if you go to bbb.org/ChicagoBuzz, you can sign up for our newsletter that gives you information on all the scams happening out there. But it's best to check ahead of time, Ray, not after, because sometimes after it's too late. And we're also a referral agency, so the Better Business Bureau can help you find businesses that you can trust. Look for the BBB seal to sign up a Better Business, Ray.
Buddy, always good to talk to you, man. You scare me this morning, but that's okay, because I'd rather learn it now than later, as you just said. Always good to talk to you, Steve.
Have a great day, Ray. Thank you.
Take care, pal. Steve Bernas, Better Business Bureau.